Gordon Brown is almost certainly going to stay on. If he survived the last weekend, he can survive just about anything. The only possibility is that he's somebody who doesn't like to lose, and it's conceivable that if he's sure he's about to lead the Labour Party to defeat in an election, he might decide to go voluntarily. I'll be amazed if the Conservatives don't win the next election. The only question is by how much. One possibility is that Labour has some sort of recovery and the Tories don't do as well as they think they're going to. I think a landslide is not beyond the bounds of possibility. An awful lot of people out there are going to say this Labour government is pretty dreadful. The Tories are probably going to be dreadful too, but you never know. They won't be any worse. They might just be a bit better. The incoming government, which is probably going to be a Conservative government, is going to have a terrible time. They will not be able to try to get the public finances in order. That's going to mean tax rises and or really significant cuts in public spending. Either way, I confidently predict not only that the Conservatives will win the next election, but that 2 years in they'll be very unpopular. Because I think people have seen governments make too many mistakes, visible mistakes, because the political class has begun to talk a language that people don't understand and that doesn't connect with what they're interested in, because politicians so often make announcements and then nothing follows. For all those reasons, including the scandal at the moment, I think it's fair to say people are very seriously turned off the leaders of all the main parties. One thing that we know people intensely dislike is the classic political argy-bargy. They don't like Prime Ministers question time. They don't like the rough house. And I think an awful lot of people say to themselves, well, shouldn't these people maybe be working together to try to sort out the country's problems rather than shouting at each other the whole time? My own view, for what it's worth, is that people in this country pride themselves on our strong system of government, but what they see is actually an active, and I would say a hyperactive system of government. People should address themselves more to whether this is really an effective system of government. And an awful lot of the constitutional changes that people are suggesting at the moment seem to me to be unlikely to address that question. You could wind up with a system that was more democratic, but less effective. As a consequence of that, you'd probably have a system that was even more unpopular than the one we have now.